Greetings, dear suckers. My name's Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And welcome back to Disco Elysium, where we're rooting around in this guy's stuff. Whoever this guy is.
Books and magazines lie scattered on the floor and on a makeshift cupboard. They are not particularly well organized.
Oh, shit.
Books, and most, are soft covers. Serialized fantastique and detective stories from the 20s and 30s. This disparate digest includes the classic Animal Adventures, popular depictions of man versus nature by amateur naturalists T&T Harpin, husband and wife. Widely read by people from all walks of life. Who doesn't like nature? Who doesn't want to survive?
Harry Dubois, possibly.
Among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories, you find a magazine cathodique for electrical engineering. Then it's back to pulp. Light erotica, an international thriller about circuit benders.
Someone's made themselves a home.
The lieutenant inspects a softcover. Does anything stand out as unusual?
Oh yes, under the bed, there is a rather extensive collection of critical theory, that is, dour, life non-affirming left-wing literature, published by small imprints such as Abattoir Firm and Ouzia. It's not exactly light reading.
I had to succeed on a heroic conceptualization check to figure that out. Okay. Look, Kim. Deranged commie ranting.
Ooh, yeah. I agree. Humanitarian sciences. It stands out. Not a lot of critical theory around in Ravachol West.
Probably because all of their predictions have laughably failed, if it's anything like actual critical theory.
Your incendiary remark has failed to provoke him.
Incendiary remark? That was a pretty flat description. Isn't it funny how people without empathy always assume that anything that infuriates them was designed specifically to do so? No one could possibly be earnest if they're different from them, after all. If we're not alike, how are you real? You can't be real.
Wasn't there some in the communist student's room?
A student in the apartment building seemed to have some as well.
Well, yes. That one student did.
Maybe it's the same person.
The little books seem inconsequential next to the big pile of frivolous entertainment covering them.
Always do. Critical theory books. What do you think this means?
Again, I am not a philosopher, but whoever has lived here, they have some education and a certain set of interests.
Interesting.
I guess. As the guy said, communism killed him.
It's clear you like the hard stuff, Brota.
What? What is my lower intestine going on about?
Lower intestine? The term is metabolic and circulatory system.
Okay, but what's the hard stuff?
Fascism, Brota.
You see what I mean? Their vision of the world stops 2 feet behind their eyes.
You're going to... There's
Predictable drivel from them as usual. Oh well. This great blast door must weigh over 10 tons. Rust peels off it. What's so great about it? This hatch is jammed shut. Water rushes below. far down below. Ooh. Getting a lot of magnesium all of a sudden. What's this?
Green paint flicks off the monoblock aluminium cabinet. There are rows of switches on the front panel, a frequency band, and even a keyboard.
Run your fingers across the keyboard.
The keys rattle like teeth. This keyboard hasn't been functional in decades.
What is this, then? A keyboard, apparently. A failed insular console, whatever that means. Insular as in insolente, or a more conventional form of the word?
The console of an anti-computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out, determine it here.
What does this console do? Well, what did this console do? Pretty sure it's a very large paperweight now.
Urgence, ouvert, allumé, radiodiffusé. Sounds like this device was used to control the electronics here. Maybe it still does.
Does it?
This device was used to control the electronics in the room. It could open doors, control lights, function as a radio computer.
Turn. Emergency. Open.
We need to restore power before using this, officer. The generator, it didn't look like there was fuel in it. We should look around outside. There are barrels all over. Maybe one of them still has something in it.
He looks into the dim light to his right.
The boat engine.
Or we could get some from the boat engine.
But officer, then we would have to swim back to the mainland. Let's just look around, okay?
The consul stands by, mutely.
It's not that far. We could swim it. Best not, though. A firing slit. You can't see inside. That's the idea. It must have been a direct hit to take out such a large chunk. The distant sound of cargo ships. Signal horns echo on the water. No cargo road. The pain in your pelvis makes you wince. Then you continue. Story of my life, eh? The inside of the fortress. You make out the console on the blast door. Ooh. And here we go. Fuel canister. It has a price. As if I'm gonna be able to sell this. There is still some fuel in this battered canister. A liter or two. The metal looks decades old. The logo of the automotive manufacturer, Lum, has faded on the side. A weathered artillery map showing coordinates in the Bay of Revachol. An old medicine cabinet, newly stocked with Dramamine. Ooh. Yeah, a lot of that stuff. I bet we could use some of this fuel. I bet we don't need this entire canister to fuel what we need with the generator. We could use some of that to top up the ship. You know. Replace the fuel that we're using up on this buggery.
There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the crumbling roof. At the head of it, double embrasures, firing slits like two eyes in the wall.
Two very rectangular eyes.
This looks like a good place to aim from.
The lieutenant looks around. He steps closer. He steps closer with his hand on his gun. Indeed.
A single-person mattress, modern, civilian use. Brand name, Marjorie. There's a fuel stain on the cover, along with cigarette burns.
Marjorie. It's a lovely name. Though I normally see it spelled differently.
And an empty can of beans on the ground next to it, filled to the brim with cigarette butts.
classic. Pick one out of the can.
The silhouette of a tobacco picker adorns the paper filter. The brand, Tio Moteri.
Tio Moteri. Like the ones we found at Land's End, remember?
I may have been wrong when I said it wasn't important. This means the same person could have visited both locations.
I hate to say I told you so. No, wait, I don't. I told you so, Kim.
I didn't see any signs of smoking inside, though. If people live there, they keep it tidy. This here may also be a smoking spot.
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window. Quite old and grimy from years without cleaning by anything other than the rain. The springs screech as you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out.
Not the most solid of positions.
Trepidation, a tingling feeling in your stomach. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting. 1 kilometer across the water, the ruins look familiar.
On the left.
A towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire. Capeside apartments. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A and 33B.
On the right.
The red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the whirling in rags. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 10. The doomed commercial area.
Did you say chimney? Chimney. Chim-chim-chiroo. And between the two, what the fuck else is gonna be? What the fuck do you think is gonna be between the two?
The box-shaped silhouette of the whirling in rags. Its sloped roof, a tiny fleck of light catches your eye on the rooftop. Sunlight reflecting off the upstairs window of Clausia's room.
Motherfucker.
What does that mean? Do you have line of sight to the window?
Yup.
More than that.
Kim, with a pair of binoculars, I would be able to see inside the room.
A pair of binoculars? Or a scope of a rifle? You'd be prone, lying on a mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure.
Quite so, detective.
Cheek against the cheek rest, hand on the hair trigger, on a calm day like this.
Kim, I could make it. I could make the shot.
Good. I think we have it, detective. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
Yep. God. Of course it is. Where else could it possibly have fucking been but here, huh? Where else? Jesus fucking Christ. Two skill points. Yeah. What else?
Affirmative.
Good job, visual calculus. I never put much into you, but you've been a real pal But you've been a real pal at 6. Regardless. Finally. Why? Oh, yes, exactly. Why didn't we come here before?
Why? We don't go everywhere in a 1,000-meter radius of the crime scene. That's not procedure.
6 people are dead. We could have prevented it. We knew that this was the only other place that it could have been, Kim! It wasn't even that far. We could have swam. We could have asked Joyce to take us. We could have taken a raft.
Don't beat yourself up, officer.
He looks north, over the fortification, then adds,
We did not put guns in their hands or get them drunk.
The lieutenant pauses. Regret comes over him.
yeah.
We will make up for it. Here, I feel it.
Yeah, we will. It could have been worse. It's not like anyone I cared about got hit. Could the shooter still be here? God, I hope so.
Where?
He looks behind his back. Right here!
You think so? We would see them if they were here.
Probably.
Perhaps it's a
Ghost killer? Ghost sniper?
No, officer. It's not an invisible shooter. But this island, on the other hand.
You think he's here?
Or she.
Oh shit. No.
We should move.
Turn away. I mean, I hope so. It would be a pretty disappointing ending if we came all this way and for nothing. No way to jump down here without breaking a few bones. Ha! We could climb down. Doesn't look that far. Well, I guess in my state. You feel eyes on your back. Someone's watching, but you can't say where. That's a good sign. Probably. Unless we're counting Kim. The winch is broken. Rust has eaten what remains of the chain. What's wrong?
A strange feeling looking at the water. Maybe you should just wander off into the sea. Leave it all and walk in.
Why? What good would that do for anyone?
Perhaps there's someone there, under the water, waiting for you.
Why would someone be waiting for me under the water? That's a terrible place to wait for me. They should be waiting at the fucking Whirling in Rags or something if she wants to see me.
Where it has always been.
If there's someone that wants to see me, she can bloody well find me.
In front of the video rental, on the corner, at the crossing.
Of course.
Smelling of tutti frutti and betrayal.
Somehow.
Baby, you know it's going to hurt.
But it's cold.
Yes, cold and still. But love is warm, like the inside of her mouth.
No, 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 no.
Yes, 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 yes. No, we're not starting with that. Not now. Not this time. This thought is over.
Raise your sight.
In the still mirror of the bay, you see Martinez, reflected. Tall edifices of ruins reach into the water, like shimmering towers. And the shacks too. Pine trees and motor lorries, upside down. Islets and posts, like stepping stones, lead into the water in front of you. Go. Step in. It's been too long.
Shake your head. What rot? What utter rot? What's that? That was weird. He's jumping onto this. Oh. The depot that supplied this chain is long gone from the coast. A lot of things are.
You see a small metal door nested inside a larger one, a heavy steel blast door. There is a conventional keyhole above the handle. It's very small.
A door and a smaller door. What's on the other side? Everything.
Another part of the island, probably. The lock looks like it could still be usable.
How do we open this?
Maybe this is one of the doors we don't open?
Doubt it.
He's right. It would be better to open its big brother. A powerful engine hangs under the ceiling. It must control the blast door.
No, this isn't one more door. We're opening it.
Alright, I retract my statement. It was naive. Let's look around and get it open.
The heavy metal...
Alrighty then.
This old cylindrical...
Pour fuel into the tank.
The lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank as you tilt. Dark brown, viscous fluid pours out, and the room fills with a chemical smell.
Another puzzle solved! Yay!
There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other side. The lieutenant flicks the switch.
Pull the rope. Dope.
The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse before settling down to a rattle.
That should do it.
Alright. Wow. I thought that skill point was going to be the last I get. I'm pretty damn close to getting another one already. Okay.
A dim golden
It's on. Turn emergency open.
You're not the boss of me, Kim.
automatic boot.
Slide radio dial.
The dial slides under the dusty glass, dark and silent, despite the power being on. You make out defunct stations on the UKV frequency. The words "Failed Insula" are written on the band. An idea lights up in your head.
Maybe we could contact Suna. Was that how you pronounce her name? I forget. The programmer lady. She could open the door for us remotely. Perhaps? But why?
This is an air-gapped system. Of air, I think they call it. That won't work.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not. But it would not be very good military technology if programmer ladies could control it remotely. Also, it's ancient. Incompatible.
Fair enough. Could this open the blast door, I assume?
I think, yes. Let's see. That one. The emergency open.
Push light interior.
The lighting in the room
Oh.
turns on with a sizzle, a dim ambient orange.
Turn emergency open.
The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
Let there be light. Wow, that's dramatic.
A sudden wave of anxiety makes your skin crawl.
After you.
The lieutenant gestures at the opening. Before, outside, when we were walking across the sand, I felt someone watching me.
So did I. Not back there, but I felt it since we came here.
Your perception might be even higher than mine. What's there? Point to the door.
I don't know.
A thin wisp of smoke rises from a charred black fire pit. The wind picks up, then dies down again.
I'm scared.
Don't be. I have a gun.
He takes out his sidearm, checks the barrel, then holsters it again. So do I. I also have a gun.
I know. It was not easy to acquire.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. Just a little further, then. Just beyond is probably the final confrontation. And here we are, only inches away from another level up. And we still haven't even finished Homosexual Underground. Alas. I guess it'll... Actually, there is one other thing we haven't done yet. We've got all these books that we never actually bothered to read because we had so much to do. I bet we could while away a few hours reading those. And it'd probably be more dramatic to confront this person in the late evening or night, anyway. Sure, why not? Delay it just a little longer. Let's see, 16 days of coldest April. Apparently the first interactable I acquired that I didn't get rid of by some means. Apparently the first interactable I acquired based on how they're organized, although, well, who knows. The cover features a row of concrete buildings with a monochrome rainbow in the sky. A monochrome? That's just a bow! It tells a rather excruciating story about two lovers during a period of ethnic unrest in Yugograd. The book has been filed under psychological realism. In other words, people being miserable.
In your hands, you hold 16 Days of Coldest April by Yekaterina Dahl. The cover image shows a row of concrete apartments above which span a black and white rainbow.
Good times. Feels heavy.
Indeed, the book is unusually heavy in your hands, as though the cover were lined with lead.
Is it?
It would do that in Grad.
How long is this book anyway?
You flip through the book. The pages are thinner than you realized, and the type quite small and tightly set. It's nearly 600 pages long.
Fine. Well, I've read longer fanfiction.
Real art is dense and difficult. If it didn't feel like you had to wrestle a suicidal bear to get through it, you weren't really reading.
Oh, shut up, conceptualization. Look at the back cover.
The back cover is dominated by a black and white photograph of the author.
What does she look like?
She can't be much older than her mid-30s in this photograph, and yet, from this cover, the eyes of a sad old woman stare back at you.
Fun. Well, start reading then.
In cold, detached prose, the author describes a scene from one of the Yugograd riots in the 20s. Youths overturned motor carriages and set trash cans ablaze, while heavily armored guardsmen dash in and disperse them in a flurry of baton blows.
Fun times.
The Yugograd riots took place from 27 to 29. Fueled by ethnic unrest and the state's repressive tactics, these events are often seen as marking the end of a brief period of liberalization known as the Yugograd Spring. Like all such periods, it is frequently memorialized in art and literature.
Liberalization? Don't think you pronounced that correctly. Anyway, that was quick. What to put that in, huh? I don't know. I've not put anything in Esprit de Corps this whole time. Fuck it. Might come in handy.
As ethnic tensions run wild, a pair of young lovers meet each other on the street. Somehow, in the middle of all the chaos, they manage to lock arms and look into each other's eyes.
What happens next? They die horribly and miserably and painfully, probably.
It would physically hurt you to keep reading. Are you sure?
No, I won't subject myself to Gradian realism. Nah, read 10 more pages.
They go through a brief and somewhat awkward love affair. And in the end, they betray each other and succumb to the absurdity of Gradian life. The man becomes a lens grinder, completely abandoning his former existence.
Oh, I should have guessed.
He toils through the daily drudgery at the Lenka Polyfabricate. Happiness and fulfillment have eluded him his whole life. And In the end, he has nothing to do but dedicate himself to the craft.
Sounds like he's eluded them. And the woman?
She spends the next several decades standing at a conveyor in a Sosnovo fish processing plant. The smell of fish guts slowly seeps into her hair and skin as every single one of her dreams dies, one by one.
Yay. Because realism, which is, as ever, a synonym for pointless misery. Or maybe just pointless.
The memory of their short time spent together tortures the former lovers ceaselessly until the end of their days. Years pass in solitude, their bodies growing ever more decrepit.
This is terrible. Yeah, you said it, Harry. This sucks ass.
As life leaves their remains between the soil sheets, their final thoughts are filled with regret.
Yep. That was a waste of time. Anyway. Did I look at this one?
The worn map.
Yeah. Anyway, a primer for small kids. That'll be a whiplash. A textbook for the first grade in primary school. On the cover, a humanoid teddy bear. I guess it's a weird looking teddy bear. Is pushing a wheelbarrow full of letters. He's not doing a good job. The letter S is dangerously dangling from the cart, while E, and whatever that is, fell off a long time ago. Children should pay more attention.
You hold in your hand the colorful primer. The title reads, "A Primer for Small Kids." There's a bear involved.
Exactly what I need.
This book will show you the score. Get you oriented with those basic concepts you appear to be hazy on. The anthropomorphic bear will give you the lowdown of your life.
On what?
The alphabet.
Yeah. Flip through the pages.
Every page has one word designating one letter of the alphabet with a faded illustration. Most of them are scientific and cultural principles. It goes as follows.
C is for cake. When no one was looking, Lex Luthor stole 40 cakes. He stole 40 cakes. That's as many as 4 tens. And that's terrible. Let's do this.
A is for azimuth. B is for Boreas. C is for cosine. D is for diamite. E is for ellipse. F is for phlogiston. G is for gamete.
Interesting choices.
H is for homeboy. I is for econ. J is for Eura. K is for collapse. L is for laudanum. M is for myriad. N is for nadir. O is for aureole. P is for perihelion. Again,
Interesting choices. Nod stoically.
Q is for quasar. R is for rhododendron. S is for sinus. T is for tricolor. U is for ultra. V is for vector. W is for Wahrheit. X is for xylophone. Y is for Ustava. Z is for zenith.
Sad. That's it?
That's it. You know the alphabet now.
Yay. Thanks for piping up conceptualization in what is called the IL, the international language, developed by scientists from Grad in the 20s. Sinus means sign, for example. Does it? Okay. Kim, I know the alphabet now.
Good. I also know the alphabet.
Yeah, alphabet buddies. Anyway.
It is a very useful skill to have, he thinks, for all sorts of life activities like reading and...
Indeed. Hyamdullerman, the man from Hyamdall, or however you pronounce those. Speaking of whiplash, a classic. On the frontispiece, an anatomically unrealistic muscle man is reaching into a mountain stream, yearning to touch his glimmering mirror image. His eyes are full of childlike wonder. On the blood-soaked snow right next to him lie two giant Zweihandlers. Not pictured here.
The cover of this tattered paperback features the man from Yeomdar, standing atop a pile of bloody corpses. His two Zweihanders are crossed over his massive chest in a dramatic X, their blades dripping with gore.
Hell yeah!
Behind him rise the harsh, snow-capped peaks of his native Northlands. In bold red letters, the title, Yeomdalar, the man from Yeomdar, unfurls like a banner. In the foreground, a nearly nude woman lies spread in supplication, her privates strategically covered by her flowing black hair.
Ah, a classic.
These images speak to something burbling deep within you. The primal struggle of a bunch of violent apes just duking it out.
And having sex, don't forget that part. Look at the back cover.
The back blurb reads, "His latest adventure serves as the perfect introduction to the savage Yeomdar saga. Meet man from Yeomdar, his faithful blood brother Tyribald, the noble Lord Hrothgar, and some of their most fearsome foes yet, for the Northlands, for Yeomdar."
Yeah! For Heimdall! Never have I been more patriotic for a country I know basically nothing about and am not at all from.
Below, in smaller font, you see the parenthetical, adapted from Man from Eondal and the Necromancer's Treasure, Man from Eondal, Lord of Hrothgar, and Man from Eondal, the Curse of Nacht Hera.
Adapted from? This was adapted from some of the other books? Interesting.
A brazen attempt to bilk fans for more money by splicing together old stories under a new title.
Ah. That's another way to put it. The publishers must have a dim view of their readership.
Their main concern is the continuation of the franchise, not making literary history.
You'd be surprised.
The story opens in media res. The man from Heimdall and his band of northern reavers are in the bowels of an ancient temple, surrounded by an army of gibbering whites, led by the deathless necromancer. One by one, the brave Northmen fall to the relentless crush of undead, only to join their number as reanimated corpses.
Good times, good times.
By nightfall, only the man from Heimdall and his blood brother, noble Tyribald, are left standing against the dead horde. "It is an honor to die by your side, brother," Tyribald cries, as his battle axe beheads one of their reanimated comrades.
Wow. They're in trouble now.
9, Tyribald. The man from Heimdall bellows over the army of flesh and bone. "Have courage. For the Northlands. For Heimdall." He leaps to the mezzanine to face the black-eyed figure, and like a mad ice bear, whirling twin Zweihanders, Sturm and Drang, he plows through the ranks of the deathless, surrounding the necromancer.
Yeah!
The writer has never held a sword in their life, let alone two two-handed swords at the same time.
Yeah, that part's a bit goofy. It's not even entirely a matter of strength when it comes to wielding two-handed swords in either hand. It's a matter of the physics of leverage and such. It's point is, if you were building a sword for someone of great strength to wield in either hand and such, it would have significantly different design decisions than someone making a sword to be wielded in two hands, is what I'm trying to get at. But well.
It is physically impossible for a human being to effectively dual-wield Zweihander swords in any kind of real-life combat situation.
I wouldn't phrase it exactly like that, but yeah. Not exactly the most practical of decisions.
And with deadly finesse, his twin blades scissor the necromancer's head from its body. The undead legions collapse like ragdolls as the dark magic leaves them, and the two Northmen stand alone in their cursed temple, where the bodies of their lost brothers litter the floors.
On a semi-related note, it's kind of funny that two-handed weapons in general have become associated with big, burly bozos. Which, I guess if you're wielding two... I was about to say two in each hand, but that would be even sillier. One in each hand. That makes sense. Well, no, that doesn't quite make sense, but it makes sense that you would associate that with big, burly bozos, because those are the only people that could theoretically do that at all, if not effectively. But when it comes to people just wielding a regular, say, a longsword, that's a classic two-handed sword, people assume, oh, that's not a weapon for people who are weaker, women, weenie men, children, that sort of thing. Clearly we should give them one-handed weapons, maybe even have them dual wield. That's the weapon for someone who lacks strength and wants agility and flexibility and what have you. No, that's exactly wrong. Because most two-handed weapons, such as the longsword, are not twice as heavy. Not by a long shot. So it's actually a lot better for people who aren't as strong. And when it comes to flexibility, agility, that sort of thing, two-handed swords are also great for that. Because the way you grip them affords you so much more flexibility in directing and redirecting the sword. That's one of the major advantages of two-handed weapons. You can use them with such finesse. You know? Well, maybe you don't. But never mind that. That's a massive divergence. And don't even get me started on the kind of arm strength you need to effectively use a rapier. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, skip ahead.
A few chapters later, the man from Heimdall and Tyribald are in a completely different setting, high above an arid desert, riding a pair of griffins that always seem to appear at narratively convenient moments.
Naturally. They're the plot griffins.
This book makes a mockery of the very idea of good plotting, though something tells you coherence was never the point.
Seems a bit harsh, but alright. I get the distinct feeling that the writers of this game have a thinly veiled degree of absolute fucking contempt for pulp fantasy. Which is usually a result of severe insecurity and egotism. But I repeat myself.
The Northmen find themselves in the court of a powerful southern king, Lord Hrothgar. The old king beseeches the man from Heimdall to rid his kingdom of the Nachtherra, a subterranean clan of blind wizards who traded their souls for demonic powers.
As you do? Wait, did they also trade their eyes, or were they always blind?
The man from Heimdall extracts a high price from the desperate king. He asks land for the homeless desert pygmies living exiled in the kingdom's borderlands.
Oh.
Hrothgar offers the hand of his eldest daughter instead, but the son of winter does not budge.
Oh, how sweet of him. Hold on, why is the man from Heimdall doing any of this? I guess because he's a big fan of the desert pygmies or something.
What do you mean?
Why is he doing all of this?
Because the flame of justice burns bright within his chest. Because, above all, he's driven to bring honor to the name of his beloved Heimdall. Because His noble Cutlan blood lusts for glory and conquest. It cannot be denied.
Is that all?
What do you mean, is that all?
Is there anything else to his character?
He is the man from Hyundal, forged in the fury of battle. Death was his sire, and blood his dam. He had but 14 winters when he left his frigid homelands in Cutla to seek glory and honor. That is his character. He doesn't even have a real name. What is inside this man? Or is muscle and bone all he is?
Okay, but does he have any internal tension?
He is the wildest man alive. The only mortal strong enough to wield the twins Zweihanders, Sturm and Drang, whose names mean storm and...
Yes, I get that. He's strong and has big swords, but why should I care about his character?
What are you, a book critic?
Actually, yes. I'm a goddamn art cop.
Enough. You're ruining the pacing of the story. Now where did you leave off? Ah yes. What pacing? You skip past a section detailing an elaborate banquet with many toasts, as well as the long and perilous journey from Hrothgar's keep to the ancient forest of Yesdar, where our heroes infiltrate the Nachtherre's dire hall. In the center of the great hall stands a blood altar, on which a pair of Nachtherre are disemboweling a shrieking peasant, an unholy rite that empowers the Nachtherre forbidden magic. As the vile ceremony ends, the sound of steel unsheathing draws the Nachtherre's attention to a pair of cloaked figures standing in the doorway. This is what you came for, isn't it? A climatic bloodletting, where men are reduced to muscle and fury.
Yeah.
Swiftly, the visitors toss off their cloaks and unsheathe glimmering northern steel. It's the man from Hyundal and his valiant blood brother, Tyribald.
Whoa, I did not see that coming. Well, yeah, who else would it be? Why are these my only two options? I feel like that's not a... whatever.
In an instant, the Nachtherre summon a horde of gibbering orcanoids who rush our heroes. The hall fills with the clang of blades and the screams of the dying as the floor goes slick with steaming orcanoid viscera.
What's an orcanoid?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What? What?
When the din of battle settles, only the man from Hyundal and Tyribald remain standing. Exhausted and dripping with the entrails of their foes, the two Northmen confront the foul Nachtherre. The man from Hyundal's soda-like blue eyes fill with indescribable fury. For the Northlands, he cries, rushing headlong into a desperate melee.
Cut him up, Dollar Man.
He probably is, but you can't be sure, cause this one ends in a cliffhanger and a footnote saying, to be continued in Hyundal Man at the gates of tomorrow. Coming soon to your local bookstore.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, cliff. Of course it would end on a cliffhanger. Damn you.
Considering the sheer amount of different Hyundalaman books out there, it's very unlikely you're ever gonna find the sequel.
Bagram.
The man from Hyundal stares at you on the cover, his face fixed in grim resolve.
Alright then. Yeah, like I said, the author's barely concealed contempt for the genre. Not even really the genre, just the entire fucking medium. Or sub-medium, I guess you could call it. It's pretty... It reeks. The entire description of this series just fucking reeks of wretched and pathetic insecurity. It really does. Okay, let's see. The man from Hyundal and the devil woman. But all women are devil women. The frontispiece of this old paperback features a muscle man in chains, kneeling before a salacious-looking woman on a regal seat. A bonfire lies between the throne and the man, casting shadows on the wall, and the shadow of the vixen's headdress looks like a pair of demonic horns. Classic.
The edges of the pages are worn and smudged. A lot of people have read about the Devil Woman's altercations with the Heimdall man.
I'll bet they have. Look at the back cover.
The jacket copy proclaims, "Man from Heimdall returns in his most exciting adventure yet. After crashing into a strange jungle, cannibalistic natives abduct his only surviving comrade, Noble Tyribald. Before Man from Heimdall can mount a rescue,
This Tyribald sure gets himself into a lot of trouble.
he is ambushed by a tribe of female warriors and taken to the ancient citadel of Cloud City, where a mysterious and wicked queen rules supreme. Will Man from Heimdall be able to escape his dire situation and find his missing friend?"
Cloud City, huh? Didn't realize this was a Star Wars crossover. Time to flip through the book.
You open the book to a random page. Man from Heimdall, wielding his two Zweihanders, is carving through a sea of savages, his visage fixed in grim determination. His arms, whirling like windmills, are soaked with the blood of his enemies. Mangled corpses litter the battlefield.
Is he a swordsman or is he a blender?
Good God, this is some retrograde stuff. When was this shit written?
Wow.
You flip to the copyright page. This book was written in 38.
Oh shit. Gritty and heroic.
Berserker rage burns in his azure-hued eyes as he brings glory and honor to his long-lost Heimdall tribe. From the village of Heimdall, the ivory giant roars like an ice bear, and the winds of Gatla howl out his name.
Give me more.
Man from Heimdall rides on a gilded griffin, his golden mane billowing in the breeze. Both Zweihanders sheathed on his back. He is off to war. Will he conquer his enemies? Will he conquer himself?
Himself? What's that supposed to mean? Onward.
The steel muscles of Man from Heimdall gleam in the humid jungle air. Yet the man does not sweat. In meditation, his soul drifts in the frigid northlands he calls home.
Holy shit, this is so me. Really get into the book.
A passage
I do have a
reads,
sword.
The man from Heimdall looks up, his eyes blue as the mountain lakes of his homeland. He rarely speaks, but now his voice booms in the darkened throne room. Do not try to sap my masculine essence, wicked temptress. Son of Heimdall will never succumb to your seductive wiles.
Yeah, you tell her.
Thine spells are no match for purity and strength of will.
Yeah!
Brothers of Heimdall, stand above the vices of flesh, for it is weak and corruptible, yet mine is forged in gore and strife.
Yeah!
Queen Lydiana just laughs, a sultry and salacious sound, then says, I have grand plans for you, man from Heimdall. She gestures her diabolical hand toward an array of potions and unguents. First, you shall please me. Then lead my armies against the vicious cannibals. Not a muscle moves in the face of the man from Heimdall. Yet inside, there is turmoil. This goes against all he holds sacrosanct.
Oh?
This is beyond primitive.
Wow. This is epic!
In the final pages, man from Heimdall mounts Galavarin, his mighty griffin, and turns his gaze to the horizon. Queen Lydiana is dead, but an army of cannibals is storming the gates, and still there's no word of trusty Tyribald. To find out what happens next, you have to pick up Man from Heimdall and the Three-Eyed Skull, available in fine bookstores everywhere. Spring 39.
Cocked again, god damn it. Alright. Damn you and your cliffhangers. Yeah. It's really funny seeing the authors not even concealed at any more contempt for the entire fucking medium. It's hilarious. It's trying to portray this as some sort of wretched, primitive, repulsive thing. But all they're doing is making themselves look all of those things. Repulsive. Truly repulsive. Anyway, Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity. Another Dick Mullen book that woefully misrepresents the nature of police work. Oh joy, is this gonna be another of the author's barely concealed contempt for a genre? Probably. In this one, our detective returns from a trip having successfully solved one case, only to embark on another. Does he finally face the taxing nature of his occupation? No. He doesn't even look like a normal officer of the law. Yeah, I'm one to talk.
In your hand, you hold Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity. The brittle paperback feels fragile to the touch. The cover features a pastiche of different scenes. In the foreground, a man in a dark overcoat clutches a pistol to his chest. Rising up behind him are two silhouettes wrapped in a passionate embrace. The tagline reads, Detective Dick Mullen must prove his innocence after an old friend is murdered by someone who looks just like Dick Mullen. That seems to sum up the premise nicely.
A classic.
Needless to say, it violates nearly every RCM regulation for a detective to investigate a murder in which he is a suspect.
We're one to talk about violating RCM regulations. This game is sure one to talk about all of this.
Are you really reading that, detective?
I really need to know who this Dick Mullen guy is.
Good luck finding it. He's not much of a character, I think you'll find. Just a stand-in for the reader.
The point is for the reader to feel like they're solving the crime along with Dick Mullen. A crude narrative convention, but no less effective for it.
Oh, this game's one to talk about crude narrative conventions. It's basically 50 of those crudely held together by spit and hopes. Alright, start reading.
The story opens with a knock at the door. Detective Dick Mullen is greeted by an old friend, Charlie Spillane, who's come to Mullen to ask a favor on this dark and cold night. Spillane needs Mullen to drive him in from Vespa to a small town along the Elysium coast. Despite his friend's apparent agitation, Mullen does as he's asked, then returns home, where he passes out drunk, as he does most nights.
A bad habit, but I'm going to talk about that.
An extremely unprofessional and hurtful stereotype that's offensive to all upstanding officers of the law.
Look, I can't judge.
2 days later, Mullen is arrested by the Vespa police and charged with the murder of Charlie Spillane. At his interrogation, Mullen learns that Charlie Spillane was shot in a bar in the very town Mullen dropped him off in by a man matching Mullen's description. Desperate to clear his name,
nice.
Mullen manages to convince the Vespa police to release him for 3 days so that Mullen may solve his friend's murder and prove his innocence.
The cops release their prime murder suspect so we can find the real killer. Are you shitting me? Honestly, the most unrealistic part of this is that he got arrested so easily to begin with. Thin blue line and all that. I can kind of believe that someone like him would have enough pull, enough favors to burn and such, that he could get them to, well, that he probably wouldn't be arrested in the first place, like I said, but that he could afford himself some probably entirely unwarranted luxuries, if you catch my drift.
What's the matter, detective?
The lieutenant turns to you with a start. I don't know who's writing this shit, but I get the feeling they aren't experts on homicide investigations.
The lieutenant shrugs, resigned to the idea that his profession will rarely, if ever, be accurately represented in art and literature. They're not shitting you, detective. This is what the writers think passes for police procedure.
Police procedure? No. Police behavior? I have seen a whole heck of a lot worse. A lot more egregious than something as petty as this. For all these writers' supposed cynicism, they really are painfully naive when it comes to things outside their narrow, tiny bubble. Aren't they? Of course they are. They always are. Okay, so Mullen didn't do it.
Of course Mullen didn't do it. That's the whole premise of the book. Anyway, Mullen returns to the seaside bar where Spillane was murdered and meets a beautiful, mysterious woman named Diana Deneuve.
Hey, I know someone named Diana. Or at least the username Diana. Nice. A dame. I bet she did it.
And not just any dame. She's truly one in a million. A knockout whose mind is as dangerous as her curves. But she's got a secret.
Man, who doesn't?
Secrets are the currency of human relations. Your secrets are unknown even unto you. So does that make you a rich man or a beggar?
Good question, Volition. And people say you're boring. That was downright poetic. Now it's getting interesting.
Deneuve reveals that she was Spillane's lover, and that he was mixed up with a local amphetamine smuggling operation. As soon as Mullen begins pulling at strings, the whole conspiracy begins to unravel.
Not a very well-spun conspiracy, then. But then again, it's an amphetamine smuggling operation. They tend to not be the most intricately and competently designed.
Not only is the local police captain in on the amphetamine ring, so is the son of a powerful politician and a strung-out art collector named Torvald, each of whom has his own reasons for wanting Spillane dead.
Wow, the local police captain and a powerful politician? And I guess the art collector? But that's less impressive. Yeah, I can easily see why these people would get sloppy and wind up allowing their conspiracy to be so easily unraveled. What was that about an art collector?
Torvald, the art collector, is a strung-out mess. Frankly, it's hard to imagine him holding a pistol steady enough to actually hit someone, let alone plug them 3 times in the chest the way Spillane did.
Forgot to say the word him there, but okay.
That said, Torvald and Spillane have a long history, and while interrogating him, Mullen discovers that Torvald was once involved with Diana Deneuve. Could it be that this is all over a sordid love triangle?
My case very well might be, so... I want to hear about the politician's son.
A typical privileged twat. In all likelihood, he's just in over his head. He does bear a personal grudge against Spillane, though, a former prosecutor who nearly brought down his father's administration. The kid doesn't exactly have Dick Mullen's manly build, but he is the correct height, and while interrogating him at his home, Mullen did notice a certain overcoat that looks suspiciously like his own.
Tell me about the corrupt police captain. Bet it's him. That would be the most dramatic possibility, wouldn't it?
Outwardly, the old police captain is a real law and order crypto-fascist, a barrel-chested man who's beaten his share of suspects to pulp. But he's also dirty and increasingly paranoid that someone's going to expose his role in the drug ring.
Wait, he's outwardly a crypto-fascist? What? That doesn't quite make sense, but whatever.
He would certainly have the motive and the means, but the captain walks with a noticeable limp from an old war injury. Is it possible that he was able to conceal it long enough to commit the murder?
I'm apparently able to conceal it long enough for all this, given that my walk cycle hasn't changed. Okay, let's get on with the story.
One evening, Diana Deneuve comes
Bet they
to
all
Mullen's
did it.
hostel room in tears. The two of them drink half a bottle of vodka, and soon they're seeking comfort in each other's arms.
Yeah, I bet she did it. Maybe they all did it.
Well, that testimony won't be admissible any longer.
How does Mullen expect to solve the murder if he's sleeping with witnesses? Nice. Get it, Mullen.
As the two lovers share a post-coital cigarette, Deanna Deneuve turns to Mullen and says, "By the way, Dick, there was something else I meant to tell you."
Probably not in such a deep voice, however.
I love you. The name of the true killer. Always aim for the center of mass. Whatever it is, Mullen never hears the words. A blow to the base of his skull knocks him out cold instantly.
Ah. This is how we say goodbye in Germany. Yep, they all did it, didn't they? Can't trust a dame. Shake your head.
Who can you trust in this wicked, messed up world?
Your partner. Look at Kim.
The lieutenant gives you a quizzical expression in return. You go back to the story. When Mullen comes to, Deneuve is dead on the hostel bed next to him. To make matters worse, his clothes are covered with her blood.
Double fuck. Okay, it's possible that she didn't do it.
Mullen trashes his blood-stained clothes and flees the hostel, knowing it's only a matter of hours before the cops discover Deneuve's body, if they haven't been tipped off already. Fleeing a crime scene, destroying evidence. Even if Detective Mullen didn't commit the murder, he should be facing years behind bars.
You mean like Clage, eh? Fun times.
Dick Mullen won't be sent to the clink for the sake of some legal niceties.
Indeed.
The heat is on. If Dick Mullen can't solve both murders before the cops catch up to him, he's going away for life. Can you solve the case before the cops close in?
Wait, I've got some questions first.
What is it, Detective?
Why does everyone close to Dick Mullen wind up dead? Because it's dramatic, that's why.
It's a dangerous line of work, but somebody has to do it. That's why Dick Mullen never lets anyone get too close.
Apparently not.
What's the matter? Afraid you've been hacking up your friends' bodies in the night?
What?
You are the murderer after all.
Duh. Why did Dick Mullen become a detective in the first place?
There was never a time when he wasn't a detective. He was born a detective.
Okay. Was I not born to be a detective?
For a moment, you cease to read the story on the page and see the book for what it is. A collection of brittle, cheaply printed pages held together by glue made from the hooves of horses. You won't find the answers you're looking for here. In other words, there was never...
Why is he like that?
Dick Mullen was made to crack skulls and solve cases. It's who he is. He could no more stop being a detective than a tiger could cease to be a predator in the night.
A tiger totally could cease to be that.
You're no tiger though, Harry. You're a man. It's your curse to have to choose.
Oh no. The horror of Spider Island.
For a moment, you cease to read the... You won't find the answers you're looking for.
Why bother solving crimes when the world is so evil?
Is it really so evil, detective?
Okay, maybe not. There were parts worth saving.
Like what?
The pleasure of contemplating art.
You don't know how you know, but you can feel this book laughing at you. You think contemplating art is going to save you?
Got the first part of that, yeah? Yeah, I do. I'm the goddamn art cop, after all.
Whatever you say, art cop. The book has stopped laughing, but you can feel it grinning smugly at you.
Isn't this a strange conversation from men who aren't crazy? Fuck you, book. Give the book the finger.
You know you look like a madman, right? Giving an inanimate object the finger like that.
Ah, shut up.
What's the matter, Detective?
This book is making fun of my sincerest beliefs.
Then perhaps you should stop reading it.
But you can't stop, can you? You've got to find out what happens.
I don't have any more questions. I figured it all out.
So, who did it, Detective? Who killed Charlie Spillane and Deanna Deneuve?
Dick Mullen! The dirty police captain?
Could be. Who knows? Only one way to find out.
Finish the book.
You begin furiously flipping through pages. Even as you know these books follow a series of well-worn tropes, you find yourself completely engrossed. You're turning pages so fast, you don't even notice the ancient spine coming unglued.
Oh, what? What are the odds of that?
You try to grab the pages as they come loose, but your fingers aren't quick enough. They're gone.
What? Gone where? They fucking disintegrated?
Dozens of pages scatter across the floor. The last fifth or so of the book seems to have been lost. It's possible that you could gather and reassemble the pages, but it would take way too long.
What? I'm not even gonna dignify that with an explanation of how fucking retarded it is. That's just dumb. But okay, yeah, sure, I guess I'll never know. There's no possible way I could... Stupid old horse glue.
Ah, yes. The problem with mass-market paperbacks. They are not made to last. Perhaps this is a sign that you should get back to solving your own murder, huh, detective?
I was murdered?
In your hand, you hold 4/5 of Dick Mullen and the mistaken identity.
What a load of shit. That was the most brazenly retarded way to have a dumbass cliffhanger. To shove a dumbass cliffhanger into this. Anyway.
Homosexual underground.
Yay.
Maybe you should stop obsessing about your own and other people's sexuality.
No.
Feels like it's about time to do that. You thought about this for 8 hours? Not only should you stop, you should tell Kim you've stopped obsessing about other people's sexuality too. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. Unless you already got him killed because you were obsessing about your sexuality. There's no way of telling from within your brain. But for your own sake, please say you didn't.
You know, fair enough. Right. Fair enough. No bonuses besides stopped obsessing about sexuality. Okay. Sure. Alright. What?
Yes?
I have big news, Kim. Tell Kim about how you no longer obsess over your sexuality.
Okay.
I have managed to stop obsessing about my sexuality.
Great. Imagine all the time you'll have for work now. Matter of fact, we should get back to it right now.
Nod.
Turns his attention elsewhere.
Just one thing, though. Okay, Columbo.
What?
Are you part of the homosexual underground?
You didn't stop at all, did you? You are just obsessing about other people's sexuality now.
No, just yours. Thanks, reaction speed. Real helpful. Yeah, but...
But am I? I'll spare you another 20-hour mind project. Yes, I am. Now let's get back to work.
It was only 8 hours.
That's the truth.
Okay. Thanks, Kim. Wait, are you actually... Wait, are you homosexual or bisexual? No, let's get back to work. Or rather, let's get to... cliffhanger. Because I am just as much of an evil bastard as the authors of this game, and I'm gonna stick you with this cliffhanger now. Neener, neener, neener. And if you dislike that, well, you know what to do, dear viewer. dislike the video, unsubscribe if you're for some reason subscribed, and leave a nasty comment in the comment section down below. Fuck you all so much for watching, and so long, suckers.